Cake Mountain. Fun to play with, not to eat. Cake Mountain!
The VTech Toot Toot Animal Safari Park. Let your child's imagination run wild. Toot Toot Animal Safari Park playset from VTech.
Check out the awesome all-new electric Crazy Cart with a cutting-edge lift-to-drift system. You just pull the drift bar and the Crazy Cart can throw 360s or drift through super tight corners. Just step on the pedal and the Crazy Cart can drive forwards, backwards, and everything in between. The awesome all-new Crazy Cart from Razor.
You're a giant, a juggler,
Come on, we're going!
a lifeguard. You're a believer, a smoother, a supporter.
Ease up.
You're a saint. You're a healer.
It's not fair. I hate you.
You're a spoil sport,
You're in the middle of nowhere.
a collector,
Sorry.
a memory maker. Who was it said you can't be all things to all people? Toyota, the best built cars in the world.
Baby Annabelle, she's my first love and I'm her mom. She's so lovely and smiles with me. Rock her gently, she'll fall asleep. Have a sweet dream.
New Baby Annabelle and Rocking Cradle from Zap Creation.
Siobhan's woes are far from over. She faces a new deadly enemy on an international scale in Love Hate tonight over on RTE1 at 9:30. Now we take the drama to the pitch. It's the FAI Ford Cup final.
It's Cup final day at the Aviva. Coming up shortly, the women's decider between UCD Waves and Raheny United. Then it's the showpiece of Irish club football, the FAI Ford Cup final between Derry City and St Patrick's Athletic. Good afternoon. What a season it has been so far. Dundalk are the new league champions, Longford and Galway are back in the top flight, and on this, the ultimate day of the season, the cup winners will be decided. We're here for the next 6 hours, so it's good to be in good company, and our panel is just that. I'm delighted to welcome Republic of Ireland and Arsenal keeper Emma Byrne, along with Richie Sadler and Tony McDonald. And later on, we'll be joined by Stewie Byrne and Kenny Cunningham. So it's an all-star cast to watch what will hopefully be two great finals. Emma, first of all, looking forward to the women's final. Raheny United champions for the last two seasons. Because of their record in the competition, is it fair to say that they start warm favourites this afternoon?
Yeah, I think so. Everybody be expecting Raheny to win today. But I actually fancy UCD because, you know, they've got some great players. They've got some senior internationals out there, great attacking football. And I think they might surprise us. Well,
Richie, there was a level of scepticism last year ahead of the final because Castlebar Celtic came in as underdogs, but it turned out to be a very, very close final. So this one looks like it's going to be hard to predict as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, I remember in the build-up to last year we were talking about what looked like a mismatch on paper. It turned out to be a really good final. You can't say that about these two teams. They are the best two teams in the league by a distance, really, because of the way that the players are concentrated in those two teams. So it is a cup final which can genuinely lay claim to have the best players in the competition on show.
Yeah, and it can't be regarded as a foregone conclusion, Tony, because of course there are some experienced players in that UCD Waves side, the likes of Caroline Thorpe and Kerry Ryan, who won here with Raheny last year.
Yeah, I mean, everyone talks about UCD Waves being a new team to the league, and yeah, and formation-wise they are. But a lot of their players have been around the block. You mentioned Caroline Thorpe. I thought she was outstanding in the final last year. Was on the ball an awful lot, bombing on from midfield. Expect to see that again today. The manager came from Peamount, brought a lot of players there, and obviously you have the couple of Raheny United players from last year. So sprinkled with experience, 4 full internationals playing as Emma said. So for me, it's going to be a very close game. And Raheny had the upper hand in the league. They won 3-1. Will that be counting for anything today? On the day, depends how the players react.
Yeah, well, the equivalent final last year certainly was dramatic. produced no end of entertainment and went to extra time. What's going to happen today? Well, we're about to find out now, and it's time to join our match commentary team of Sue Ronan and Ger Canning.
Thank you very much indeed, Peter. Good afternoon, everybody. So for the second year in a row, the Viva Stadium provides the backdrop for the Women's FAI Cup final, a competition which made a humble beginning some 25 years ago and has grown in considerable status and strength in recent years. There's the trophy on offer this afternoon. UCD have won it on 3 occasions, while Shamrock Rovers have 5 wins to their credit. And today Raheny United are going for 3 in a row. And the presentation party now coming out to greet the teams, led by Tony Fitzgerald, who is the FAI president, and alongside him Niamh O'Donoghue, the chairperson of the Women's Football Association of Ireland, and Guy Frobisher from the sponsors Continental Tires. So first of all, it's UCD Waves who are being introduced. And their mascot is there as well, 8-year-old Emma Hopkins from Ballybrack, a big fan of Caroline Thorpe, and Stephanie Roach. And the officials here this afternoon, Michelle O'Neill is the referee, the assistants, Deirdre Nolan and Olivia Snide and Paula Brady. And then on, as far as the cup holders, Raheny United, led by their captain Rebecca Craig, going, as I say, for 3 in a row here this year. Quite a phenomenal team they have been in recent times. They beat Peamount United 2-1 in 2012 and Castlebar Celtic after extra time in a wonderful final last year. And unlike their male counterparts, this is only mid-season for the players in the Women's League. And these two are the leading lights very much at this stage, although the leaders, as we go into this competition, are Wexford Youths. Before the action, the national anthem. So a huge occasion then for both of these teams. Let's take a check on the teams. And UCD Waves include Ciara Grant and Caroline Thorpe in their lineup. Both played for Raheny in last year's cup final. Grant getting a stunning goal, and Thorpe was the top player on view. Sue Ronan alongside me. Your views on UCD?
Yes, UCD I think are going to give a good challenge to Raheny today, Ger. I agree with them in the studio there. I have a sneaky feeling for them, but having said that, I don't think we can bet against Raheny. You know, they're the league winners, cup winners the last 2 years. I think they're going to be difficult to beat, but I'm looking forward to a cracking game today.
So Raheny United, they contain 4 senior internationals in their starting 11, including the goalkeeper Niamh Reid-Burke, midfielder Rachel Graham, wide player Siobhan Killeen, and striker Noel Murray, and of course Sue, also Katie McCabe.
Yes, Katie's scoring goals for fun at the moment. She comes from a footballing family. Her brother plays for Shamrock Rovers, and she's had a couple of hat-tricks to her name already this season, so she's certainly going to be one to watch.
So it's a team with a lot of experience, and the substitutes, well, in terms of numbers, Raheny are 7-4 to the good, or 7-5, but of course you can only bring on 3 in any case. Ola Nolan was disappointed she's not starting with UCD, and you can say much the same as well, I imagine, for Daniel Sheehy on Raheny's team. Played recently in the Champions League match against Bristol. And the referee on duty today is Michelle O'Neill, probably better known as an assistant referee in the Electricity League, but today taking charge of this FAI Women's Cup final. On her right, as we look at it here, is one of her assistants. That's Deirdre Nolan, and if her face looks a little familiar, that's because she's a daughter of Noel King, FAI coach, and of course at one stage an FAI manager for a little while. Toss has been won by Raheny United on a perfectly still November afternoon here. And as Paul have been saying, Sue, expectations are big for a good game here between two very much informed sides.
Yes, these are the two top teams in the country currently, although Wexford would have something to say about that. In fairness, they're doing well also in the league. But, you know, we had a really cracking game here last year, Ger, and I'm expecting another one. UCD have pace in abundance up front. Their top three are very, very fast. Julianne Russell, Anya O'Gorman, Jetta Beryl. And likewise on the Raheny flank we have Siobhan Killeen, who's also very, very fast and tricky, and indeed we have Katie, so I'm expecting a really good game today.
UCD in the blue here, combination of DLR Waves and UCD. It's the first year that they've had this combination, and they are going to get the match underway. That's Katie McCabe. Watch out for her. She's the scorer of 3 hat-tricks so far in this current league season, a season which only began in mid-September. So the referee, Michelle O'Neill, ready to blow her whistle, checking the numbers. It'll be UCD who will be playing from left to right in the first half. Very still afternoon, looking around at the flags, etc. Scarcely a puff of breeze around. So play conditions
day.
Perfect.
Yeah, absolutely, Ger. Perfect day for a game.
So standing over the ball, Anya O'Gorman for UCD Waves, alongside her Caroline Thorpe, who's already won FAI Cup medals with different clubs and has 6 medals to her credit so far. Going long here, Karen Duggan. This is O'Gorman. That's Jetta Beryl. Bit long. Anya O'Gorman just unable to get at the end of that. Goalkeeper here, you know her well, of course, as international football manager. She's played for you for the Irish team, Niamh Reid Burke.
She has indeed, and she was one of the differences between the two teams in the league a couple of weeks back when Raheny beat UCD. She had a fantastic game that day and made some great saves.
Yeah, it ended up 3-1 to Raheny that afternoon, and the aforementioned Katie McCabe got all 3 goals.
Yes, I think it was a game of a goalkeeper and a striker. The goalkeeper certainly kept them in the game, and the striker won the game for them.
Throw by Kiva Keenan, a little bit long. Once again it is Karen Duggan, an experienced player going back. Karen, who's from Piltown in County Kilkenny. Thorpe missing that one. Into it quickly, here comes Julianne Russell, very exciting player, 2 ahead of her. UCD Waves making tracks. Again they look to control the tempo here. Ciara Grant with that, just over hitting it. Got that fantastic goal in last year's Cup final. She's a medical student, 4th year medical student in UCD.
Yeah, she's playing in a position that I suppose is not her best position, or not her strength. She's normally a midfielder, but she can do a job. She's a good footballer. She can do a job of fullback as well, where she was playing today.
23-year-old Niamh Reid Burke, the goalkeeper for Raheny. They've gone some 40 matches unbeaten in the domestic league, Raheny.
Phenomenal record. I think it's 2 years now since they lost a game. It really is a phenomenal record.
It was Peamount who beat them last, so that was back in 2012. Strong challenge there, this time by Rachel Graham. Penalised. It'll be an interesting battle in midfield between Rachel Graham and Rebecca Cray, up against Caroline Thorpe and Dora Gorman.
For sure, it's nearly like with like in there, a lot of strength and power, and indeed Caroline gets on the ball, she can open doors and unlock the key for her team.
Kerry Ryan playing this one through here, bit of work to do for Anya O'Gorman just to try and keep that one still in play. Anya O'Gorman here, who scored a hat-trick in the 2010 Cup final when Peamount beat Salt Hill Devon at Tolka Park. Nia Walsh, very composed defender, straight to Grant. Jetta Beryl, quick look up, Thorpe had made a run. Again, Anya O'Gorman is the target.
Yes, I think UCD are trying to hit their fast players on the flanks. They feel that that's an area they can gain an advantage over Raheny.
This throw to be taken by Ciara Grant, 21-year-old from Letterkenny in County Donegal. Taking it back is Ryan. Easy one for Niamh Reid Burke to get under control. Kerry Ryan.
I think she had more time than she realised there, Kerry, but Kerry's just coming back from an ACL injury, so it's good to see her on the pitch today.
Caroline Thorpe, she was absolutely outstanding in last year's cup final. Won the player of the game.
She was, for sure, Jared. She's a stylish player and can as I say, unlock any defence.
UCD Waves playing a little bit dangerously back there. Eventually Karen Duggan getting it under control.
Seems to be a little nervous at the moment. They're still trying to settle.
Julianne Russell did enough on that. Rebecca Carroll coming to her aid. The referee's whistle had sounded anyway. So another free kick. UCD Waves applying most of the pressure early on. Rebecca Carroll, number 2, making that burst through. Her brother is currently playing with Partick Thistle. He's on loan with the Scottish club.
That's correct.
So an interesting situation here. Needs a good delivery now from Julianne Russell. Just overhit there. Again, Ciara Grant. Just beyond O'Gorman. Cautious opening by Raheny. And O'Gorman very nearly blocked that clearance by Niamh Reid-Burke.
Yeah, she maybe thought she'd more time than she had, but she was lucky there in the end.
Well, she's a very experienced player. Just watch this again here. A little casual maybe. First touch maybe a little heavy.
Little heavy.
This is carried on here by Noelle Murray. And Noelle Murray and Katie McCabe certainly have been among the goals already this season. Again controlled in the middle by Rachel Graham. Graham once more, allowing it to bounce. Now Pearl Slattery hitting this long one to Siobhan Killeen. Very tricky player. Goes down under the weight of that challenge there from Savannah McCarthy.
Yeah, it was a good tackle by Savannah. A strong centre half, a young player, plays in her under-19s, but real talent.
Under-19 captain, I think.
That's correct, and she had a great final tournament with them in Norway this summer.
Ciara Grant giving a very tight rein on that one. Eventually the ball carried out by Katie McCabe. McCabe hasn't managed to get into the match just yet.
No, I'm watching where she is. She seems to have ventured to her favoured left wing position.
Has this opportunity now of hitting it long. Down here for Laura Dwyer. Dorf McCabe. Just look at this again, the challenge here of 17-year-old Savannah McCarthy on Siobhan Killeen.
She's very, very strong in the tackle, Savannah, and usually very good at judging the ball.
Replaces Ali Bryan, who played in the semi-final, which was up in Kiltiernan, Jackson Park, home of Wayside Celtic. They had a very good 3-0 win on that occasion against last year's cup finalist Castlebar. Julianne Russell. Anya O'Gorman cautiously advancing. Pearl Slattery against her. Again, easy for the goalkeeper. She's been the busier, however.
She has. I think Anya could have been a little bit more composed there, but you saw when Julianne Russell cut inside, she automatically went outside, and I think the pace up front will trouble Raheny.
Hefty challenge there on Dora Gorman. The referee might have a word with Rachel Graham. Certainly is preferred to go in there with the tackles where it hurts.
For sure.
Don't get anything lightly against Rachel Graham or Rebecca Cray in the middle of that Raheny midfield.
They're a very experienced duo. They're around a good while.
This free kick is going to be taken by Savannah McCarthy from Listowel. Little overhit. Comes to naught. Playing centre of the back four there. This is the Raheny coach and manager, Casey McQuillan. It's taken over from Terry Everston this year. Done a really super job. Of course, they were busily involved in the UEFA Champions League from midsummer onwards. Did really well in that.
They did. They qualified for the round of 32, which is only the second time an Irish women's team has done, Ger, and they did really, really well. Unfortunately, beaten by a semi-professional team, Bristol Academy.
Challenge was a little bit high. Rebecca Cray there, the team captain from Temple Ogue. So Grant once again to throw this one. Rachel Graham reading it well, spreading it neatly as far as Siobhan Killeen. Just one ahead of her, however, and she's got to hold it up and do a lot of the work herself here. Full back comes to her aid.
Disappointing outcome. I think Siobhan has bundles of pace, and sometimes maybe she doesn't believe in herself to go at a defender, I think, at pace and holds the ball up. But you know, she definitely has the beating, I think, of Rebecca Carroll if she goes at her.
Carroll throwing. Raheny just trying to play themselves into the match a little better. Waiting for it to come down here. That was Kiva Keenan, only 17 years of age, the right back. Now Siobhan Killeen has pace, taking on Rebecca Carroll. Looking to get something out of that in the end. Opportunity to counter by UCD Waves. Julianne Russell.
Yeah, I think she lost the opportunity.
And also lost her balance.
Yeah.
And the referee this time issuing a yellow card.
An early yellow card there. Yeah, I think so. I think it was the second late tackle by Rebecca or by Rachel, so maybe the referee felt she wanted to stamp it out early.
First yellow card of the match against Raheny's number 8. That's hit in by Rebecca Carroll. Good lengthy delivery. Nia Walsh trying to clear. Pressure on here. Claire Conlon. Eventually having to sweep it out of danger.
Yeah, I don't think the game is settled really yet, Ger. There's, you know, a lot of players not comfortable yet on the ball.
Huge occasion for them playing at the Aviva.
For sure. It's a fantastic occasion for them to be able to play here as well.
Good control by Karen Duggan. Now Savannah McCarthy. Irish under-19 captain, just 17 years of age. Quite a talent. Now under a little bit of pressure here. Siobhan Killeen was coming across the line. And UCD Waves look composed. Again Duggan. Mopped up at the back.
Yeah, they're looking for that ball into the challenge. Karen tried to force it a little bit there maybe.
McCabe, Killeen. Flag raised on the far side. Official on the far side is Olivia Snide. So once again McCarthy. Spread as far as Rebecca Carroll. Running into trouble, however, showing a little too much of it to Siobhan Killeen. Siobhan looking up, but lacking in support. Doing well to just get a throw out of that.
She looked up and there wasn't anything ahead of her, but you know, I think she has the pace to take it on further, and then hopefully her teammates get up and support.
Kiva Keenan from Ballybun. 17 years of age, throwing this one down into the corner. Now what can they produce here? Cray. Hit across towards McCabe, comes down for her. Opportunity to strike.
It was deflected. Yeah, she just needs a half chance. She's dangerous.
First corner of the match. Well, it was a dangerous ball into the penalty area there. Bounced very awkwardly. And eventually it was Ciara Grant who got a little touch on it. So first opportunity that Katie McCabe has had. Young, talented player, only 19 years of age. Referee now calling across. Player from each team.
Little off the ball stuff maybe she's trying to cut out early as well.
Pearl Slattery and Savannah McCarthy, the two involved. So it'll be Killeen to hit this one. It's a good looking ball into the penalty area. Really good goal chance.
Very good save by Monica McGurk.
Very good stop by McGurk, as you say, from Lauren Dwyer.
It was a very good delivery into the box by Siobhan, and yes, Lauren did really well to get the header in.
Super header. First time she's been called into action. That's taken nearly 14 minutes. But it's just an indication of how dangerous Raheny can be.
Yes, Siobhan Killeen puts in some good corners, and Lauren did really well to get ahead of her defender there, but safe hands by McGurk.
Foot was a little high that time. Free kick for Raheny. Won by Lauren Dwyer once again. So bit by bit, Raheny United, league and cup winners over the last 2 years in the women's game, are finding their stride here. Keenan kicking it in over the head of Cray. Quick break on again by UCD, but they leave it behind. In particular, Jetta Berra left it there for Killeen. Cray touching it back. The referee's whistle sounds. So a free kick produced.
I think it was a late challenge on Siobhan, alright. I thought maybe they might have got an advantage, but it really didn't come to anything.
Well, they'll be happy to have brought it back because they weren't able to use whatever advantage was accruing anyway. It'd gone pretty high and handsome at that.
That's correct. Dangerous position here, though.
And this time it's going to be Noelle Murray who stands over it. Today seeking a 4th cup winners medal. Tricky position now for UCD, having done much of the attacking for the opening 10 minutes of this game. Goalkeeper required, and Monica McGurk once again equal to it. Towards Anya O'Gorman, headed on towards Julianne Russell. Can be a real danger on that left flank. Keenan up against her, however, does well.
Keenan did very well on Julianne there, because she is a threat, as you said, Ger. But young Kiva Keenan, a young player, again another one of our under-19 starlets at 17 years of age, and she's a great future ahead of her.
An awful lot of really good young talent coming through the various women's league clubs at the moment. Flag was up.
Yeah, there's some great development going on in the underage leagues, and it's great to see the youngsters coming through.
And you've been bringing more and more of them, home-based players, into the Irish international team as well. It shows the development at club level.
That's correct, Jerry. Yes, the last squad, there was probably about 10, I think, out of the 18 were home-based players in my squad. So that's a sea change, but it's great. It's great that they're at home, and I can see them. Have better access to them.
Here's Lauren Dwyer once again. She knew exactly what she was doing. There wasn't exactly anything on inside, so she worked the throw for her team, and Raheny will hold the possession.
Yes, Lauren is a fit girl, powerful girl. She's centre half, really, is her main position, but she can play anywhere.
Down into the corner, that went off Savannah McCarthy, so it's going to be yet another corner kick. And you know what happened the last time they got a corner?
Yeah, they need to keep their eye on the runner. It was Lauren the last time.
They're putting 2 players on the goalpost, however. UCD waves, not taking any chances, along with the goalkeeper Monica McGurk. Raheny bring the forces forward, especially the tall Niamh Walsh, number 3, waiting in the penalty area. Oh, Murray headed it, cleared. Gorman managed to get it away just about. Kept back the initial danger. Killeen beautifully in, they're onside. Eventually the flag did go up. It was a very late flag.
Yeah, very late flag. 3 of them in there. I couldn't see how one of them wasn't offside, but we'll see it again.
Oh, maybe not. We had a player coming out there that time. I think Karen Duggan was playing them all on.
I think Karen Duggan played them all on. Certainly the runner, for sure. So they were unlucky.
Headed on powerfully there by Anya O'Gorman. Winning it back, however, here is the experienced Claire Conlon. Reid Burke goes long, a little too long this time, and it's easy for Karen Duggan just to take this under control, begin the counter-offensive. Killeen, Grant. Might work yet for Raheny. Katie McCabe. Up against Dora Gorman, who was dragging her back really, so an inevitable free kick.
She was away there, I think. If the whistle hadn't have gone, yes, Dora had to drag out of her to stop her.
Yeah, her arm was used. Referee in no doubt.
But Raheny have looked very strong at set pieces up and around the edge of the box and from corners, so...
Sun is in the eyes of Monica McGurk as well here, Sue.
Yes.
Another element to be considered as Katie McCabe stands over this one. Hits it well. Oh, brilliantly done. Brilliantly done. A hat-trick the last time the teams met, and from the free kick now, 19-year-old Katie McCabe gives Raheny United the lead. There was nothing Monica McGurk could do about that. It was the perfect free kick. You'll hardly see a better one. Look at this, up into the corner. Brilliantly done.
In fairness to Monica, I don't think any goalkeeper would have got that. Ger was put right in the top corner of the net. What a strike from a player who's on fire at the moment. Great goal.
Well, her brother Gary, of course, has been doing it for Shamrock Rovers. And now, young Katie McCabe has made it UCD Waves 0, Raheny United 1 in the Women's Cup final.
She's the form player and she has every type of a goal in her locker, and really when she stood up to that I thought she was going to strike it, but I didn't think she could deliver that. Fantastic.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to challenge Derry City and St. Pat's to come up with something as good as that later on.
I think they'd be doing well to improve on that goal.
3 hat-tricks so far, we were saying. A rake of goals. Hit it with her left, crisply delivered, way up into that corner where Monica McGurk simply couldn't reach it. Caroline Thorpe, haven't seen a lot from her so far.
No, UCD Waves are looking nervy to me, and you know, you can see that they've not been able to get the better of Raheny for the last 2 or 3 games, so it seems to me like they're nervous today. They haven't really got going at all.
Rebecca Carroll. And Pearl Slattery, very experienced and crafty campaigner herself, just letting that one go harmlessly out of play. Well, he'll be delighted with that. Casey McQuillan is a very experienced coach.
He is, and he's added a lot to the club, in fairness. But you know, as well as the individuality of the likes of Katie, there's great experience in this team, and you just saw Pearl there knowing exactly what she was doing there, letting that ball run out of play.
And Eileen Gleeson is the coach and manager of UCD Waves, and she's had a glittering career as coach and manager over the years. Had about 8 seasons with Peamount United, won league and cups aplenty.
That's correct, and a lot of these players here were with her at Peamount. They followed her to UCD Waves, you know, so this game's not over yet. Eileen will certainly get the girls going.
We've only played the first quarter. 1-0 to Raheny. Free kick coming up, and it'll be Kiva Keenan who will take it. That was eventually hit by Claire Conlon. Siobhan Killeen, well taken down by Monica McGurk, but what a lovely shot by Siobhan Killeen, the 21-year-old Raheny native.
Another great strike there, looked like it was going to nestle in the top corner again.
Great effort. It's time for UCD Waves now really to get serious about this and to get rid of the nerves which are certainly affecting them so far. Lovely control by number 10, Noelle Murray.
For sure, she nearly put Katie McCabe through there. It was read well by Karen Duggan, but you're right, Ger, they really need to get their game going. They haven't done that yet.
Here's Killeen. Looking for an outlet pass. Murray eventually. First touch wasn't the greatest. Battles, however, to try and retain possession. Killeen again.
I think Raheny are happy with the battles in midfield. You know, I think if UCD got a bit more composed, spread the play out, you know, spread their players wide up top, the top 3 players are very fast, they might trouble them more.
Duggan. Niamh Reid Burke put her boot through that one straight to Katie McCabe. Conlon. Nice control play now by Raheny. Beginning to express themselves. And a free kick awarded to Raheny.
Yeah, I think she could have been a bit lucky there. She seemed to run into the player, but absolutely, Raheny are starting to pass the ball around quite comfortably now.
Let's just see what happens with this latest free kick. The last one caused a problem or two. Once again, Claire Conlon's going to deliver it. Lauren Dwyer, number 19, had one very good header already saved on the line by Monica McGurk of UCD. So Claire Conlon doesn't get past the first defender. Back to Graham. Rachel Graham shot wide of the target, so 1-0 at this stage to Raheny United. Let's get some comment from Casey McQuillan, the Raheny manager. He's with Joanne Cantwell.
Casey, you're starting to take control now, aren't you?
Yeah, the first 12-13 minutes we were under a bit of pressure, but you know, in fairness, we were keeping them at bay. But we're starting to come into the game and play a bit of ball now, so hopefully it keeps going that way.
And such a sweet strike for that goal.
Yeah, great strike from Katie. You know, she's coming used to doing things like that. It's very hard to defend against her, but yeah, class strike. There's many a Premiership player to be happy with a strike like that.
Casey, thanks very much.
No problem.
He's absolutely right. Many a Premiership player would be.
I think if Messi or someone scored that, we'd be singing about it for weeks.
That's true. Lovely control here by Rebecca Carroll. Ran into the tackle, then able to go again. You could see the eagerness of Raheny to try and win it back, but now UCD Waves trying to find a gap at the back, but it's not available just at the moment, in spite of the strong running of Jetta Beryl.
Yeah, Rebecca Carroll was determined there to win that ball. In fairness, she did, and tried to put Jetta away. She seems to have switched wings with Julianne Russell now. Julianne is trying herself on the right hand side there on Claire Conlon.
Don't forget, coming up at 3:30 we have Derry City against St. Pat's. Derry going for a 6th Cup win. Pat's hoping to get their first victory since 1961, a long time ago. 61, Sue, my goodness. Eamon de Valera was President of Ireland. JFK was in the White House, and water was still free of charge.
I won't comment on the last one. I think it's all too slow from UCD. I think they need to start moving the ball quicker, Ger.
Julianne Russell's come across to this side. Let's see what you can do. Short and measured. Finally cut out there by Claire Conlon.
A little bit better, but you know, they need to spread out a bit. Too many players in the one area.
Once again, Ciara Grant. Conlon intervening, but then Julianne Russell follows it in, and the referee has decided that the foul was on the part of the UCD player, Julianne Russell.
Yeah, so there definitely was a foul by Julianne. She caught is it Rachel, I think, late, but that's where she's dangerous, running with the ball into the box and hoping to be tackled, but she just overran at that time.
Well, she's just going to have to be careful. She has that kind of dogged determination in her personality. I've seen her play a few times, and she really knows how to look after herself on a football field, as indeed she has to. But on this occasion, it's left the Raheny player nursing an ankle injury.
Yes, I think it's Rebecca actually that's down, but
I think it is. This is the goal again, sweetly struck. 19 minutes on the clock at that stage, and the Raheny fans are happy.
Fantastic. But going back to Julianne Russell there, you rightly say she's able to look after herself on the pitch, and indeed she has to. Would you believe she was the second most fouled player in the last World Cup qualifying campaign in the whole of Europe? Yeah.
My goodness. Julianne from Moycullen and County Galway. Rebecca Cray is okay, back in the action. Caroline Thorpe. That's Rachel Graham clearing. Only as far as Rebecca Carroll. Another one of the youngsters in this UCD team, only 18 years of age. Switching it to Ciara Grant. Beautiful ball through the centre, but they just couldn't quite get it under control. It was Caroline Thorpe would push forward.
Yeah, it was unlucky, but they moved the ball much quicker. They spread out better as a team that time, and 3 passes took them right across the pitch and down to the back line. So they need a bit more of that. It was all too congested and too slow before that.
One thing we do know, Sue, is that there's goals in this UCD team if they can just manage to get their game together and bring a bit more cohesion and determination into their play.
Yeah, there certainly is goals in the team, all right.
Ciara Grant read it well off McCabe, UCD's ball. Dora Gorman. Savannah McCarthy. Taken down once again by Julianne Russell and goes forward. They're claiming she used a hand. Nicely in here to O'Gorman, trying to tee it up here for Thorpe. Comes straight back, however. McCabe has this chance to break forward now. Wisely looks up, sees nothing ahead of her, so holds. Good play by Raheny, but they need to get the ball away, and the flag is raised on this near side by the assistant Deirdre Nolan. Let's see what UCD Waves are making of the game so far. Eileen Gleeson is their coach. She's with Joanne.
Eileen, there was a bit of a dominant spell for Raheny there. Do you think you've weathered it yet?
I thought, yeah, we started well, and then obviously they came more into the game and scored a goal, so obviously we're trying to recover from that and improve on our forward passing there into their third, so look to get to equalise, keep pushing forward. So
do you think you have recovered pretty well so far?
I think so, yeah, in terms of, we've probably had more chances this side now, so hopefully we'll keep that going and get the equaliser.
Okay, Eileen, thanks a lot.
Well, her team, a goal behind, half an hour gone. Ciara Grant, Dora Gorman now. Savannah McCarthy, the 17-year-old, looking up, taking it back from Carroll. They retain possession cleverly here. Kerry Ryan just trying to bring Jetta Beryl into it a little bit more. Hasn't seen a lot of the action. Kiva Keenan, her marker. Really busy right back down there, and she's won a throw for her team. Wasn't going to give up even though there were 2 players against her.
Yeah, you can see how dogged Raheny are. They're determined to fight for everything. They're determined to hold on to their cup.
And that would be 3 in a row indeed.
Yeah,
quite an achievement.
Fantastic achievement, absolutely fantastic.
Thorpe, lovely turn here by Caroline Thorpe on your Gorman, causing a problem there for Peril Slattery using an arm. Good ball across.
It was a very good cross. Neve Burke read it very, very well, but UCD only had one in the box, and one of their smallest players also, Julianne Russell, so they need to get more bodies in the box for those crosses.
Backheaded by Rebecca Carroll, another under 19 international player. It'll be Kiva Keenan who will take this throw.
She has a decent throw too, as you can see by virtue of the players moving far away from her.
Ex-Shelburne player. Met quickly, but only as far as Rachel Graham. Keenan once again. Not the best of deliveries.
No, she'd be disappointed with that. I think UCD, they need to try and get Caroline Thorpe on the ball, Ger. She's the one, as we said, can unlock the door for them. If she gets herself in little pockets there between the midfield and defensive lines, she can cause trouble.
Vastly experienced player, Caroline Thorpe, number 8 for UCD in the blue. Played across channel, of course, as well.
She did. She was with Arsenal, and she's played at all levels at international, so fantastic talent.
Challenging here and winning that ball. Julianne Russell trying to steal a march on the left back. Out comes Anya O'Gorman. Player who certainly has got plenty of goals in her. Dangerous one in. Plenty of Raheny bodies back there, however, and the Pandas, as they're called, do well. Quick look up there by Cray. All the way down along the line here towards Noel Murray. Dora Gorman to the feet of Russell. Anya O'Gorman now. having to carry it forward herself, has a player in support and another arriving in the penalty area.
There always seems to be an extra body in defence to cover. Raheny are covering each other very, very well. One is beaten, the next one is in to cover.
Peril Slattery there, organising everything at the back for Raheny United. Julianne Russell, clever footwork. She's a very tricky operator. That one went off Rachel Graham. Anya O'Gorman back as far as Russell again. Second chance now to put over a good ball here. Have to settle for a throw instead.
Yeah, as I said, she got past Claire Conlon and there was a second defender, Katie McCabe, covering her fullback very, very well there. But UCD just need to move the ball faster. For me, they're not doing that. They're not going at players when they have the ball.
Ciara Grant, who was winning a cup medal with Raheny this time last year, and the player alongside her, Caroline Thorpe, both starring in that victory against Castlebar Celtic.
That's correct.
Which went, of course, to extra time.
Yeah.
Good intervention there on the part of Karen Duggan. Big tall figure at the back with Savannah McCarthy.
Yes, they make a good partnership, the two of them. You have experience and youth there, although Karen won't like me saying she's not young as well, but she's been around a lot longer than Savannah, but they complement each other very, very well.
She's actually only 23 when you think about it.
Youngster.
Very, very young.
She's been around forever.
Claire Conlon. So second opportunity for Raheny just to try and control this with 10 minutes to go to half time. They've had the brighter of the attacks so far, 3 really good attacks and 1 excellent goal.
Yeah.
That's out of play. Incremental progress. Karen Duggan put under a little bit of pressure, copes really well, straight to Julianne Russell.
But again, Raheny are back on it again. They're not giving UCD a chance to settle on it.
As befits a team, I suppose, who've been in the winning groove for a long, long time in domestic competition. This long unbeaten run, and the Indians sign over teams like UCD.
Yes, it's hard to, from UCD's point of view, it's probably hard for them to get that out of their mind mentally, and then the experience that comes from winning all the time gives the confidence to Raheny. So, it's difficult enough.
That was cleared there by Niamh Walsh, 20-year-old who started her football career with Malahide. Throw in by Rebecca Carroll, looking for a return ball. Instead it's Anya O'Gorman. Not quite the connection that Julianne Russell was looking for.
No, when Anya's ventured out to the flanks, she's caused a bit of trouble, and she's been able to run and take defenders on, get crosses in, but unfortunately no one's got on the end of them yet.
Savannah McCarthy hitting it straight here into the middle, and a chance once again for Raheny to break. Well cut out by Ciara Grant.
Yeah,
second time of asking.
She needs to cut that out, or Katie McCabe could have been away, but here she's on it again.
Tough battle in midfield, and that is Lauren Dwyer there, leaving her foot in.
It was a late challenge, alright, she's lucky there, she didn't get a card for that, I think.
Took everything there, didn't she?
She did.
Straight through.
In fairness, Ciara saw it coming and she didn't try to get her into trouble either, so that was good.
Ciara's doing medicine, she knew the consequences. McCabe. Once again. Just about to say Raheny were putting it together, but then they lose it with a bit of sloppiness.
Yeah.
Anya O'Gorman. And that'll be UCD's ball. Niamh Walsh on her toes there at the back with Peril Slattery. Won by Anya O'Gorman. To the back post. Doesn't quite come down. Jetta Beryl in there. Dora Gorman as well. Anya O'Gorman coming after it. Well cleared by Raheny. Ball back, however, in UCD possession. Rebecca Carroll. Thorpe back to Carroll. Edge of the penalty area. Well blocked down, and then lack of support there, and cleared in the end by Claire Conlon.
Yeah, if Rebecca had have looked up, those two players towards the far post, free, unmarked, Anya O'Gorman and Julianne Russell. She didn't have the composure though.
Bit of work here for Savannah McCarthy. And a little push in the back in the end of all of that. Katie McCabe brightening up this game after 19 minutes with a wonderful free kick, and there just a little nudge. Well, UCD by now have had plenty of time, nearly 40 minutes gone in this match, to have settled into this game fully and completely.
Yeah.
Begin to threaten a bit more, and this is a lovely piece of work here on the part of Julianne Russell. Strikes the crossbar, and it's in. Anya O'Gorman, 1-1.
Great
40 minutes are gone.
Great finish by Anya. She was alert to the rebound, but what a strike by Julianne. And as I said, she's dangerous, running at defenders, and she scored a couple of goals for Ireland already like that this year.
Well, it started with a beautiful turn by Julianne Russell. Just watch this, beautiful skill to skin Claire Conlon, and then from outside the penalty area, struck it well off the crossbar. Good reaction on the part of Anya O'Gorman, and in the back of the Raheny net. They're level.
It was a fantastic finish by Anya Ger. She put it back the opposite side of the goal where Niamh Burke had just come from, so she'd no time to adjust her feet. It was a really good finish with her weaker left foot, so she'd be very happy with that.
Scored 2 goals in the semi-final and a goal here 5 minutes before half-time. 1-1 in the Women's Cup final, coming live from the Aviva Stadium in Dublin. Well, that has certainly set it up.
For sure, that'll make a game of it now.
Graham. Rebecca Cray. Pushed forward as far as Siobhan Killeen. Had a good spell much earlier on in this match. Been out of the game for the last 15 minutes. Good tackle here. Carroll happy just to knock it out of play.
Yeah, we haven't seen much of Siobhan there in the last while. I think Raheny were content to sit back and let UCD come at them and hit them on the counter-attack. But now they have to come out again.
Well, now that's a bit of a body blow for Casey McCullen. It had been all going reasonably well for his team. Here's McCabe, but couldn't quite control that. Back in, however, towards her from Rachel Graham. Ever the danger out of the penalty area. Noelle Murray. Look at the number of UCD players are back there. That's up and over. Dangerous looking move, however.
Very dangerous. You can see what Noelle was trying to do. She's trying to shift it onto her right foot to have a strike, and she was closed down well and onto her weaker left foot and just put it over the bar, but good effort.
This, the goal again a few moments ago here, the shot off the crossbar. That was a very difficult shot to take on technically there by Anya O'Gorman. Coming up at an angle to her, having to contort her body somewhat, and beautifully in with the left boot.
Absolutely, and put it back across the face of the goal. It really was a top class finish.
And that's a free kick against UCD for the foul there on Katie McCabe. Well, this is a bit further out than the one she smacked into the corner of the net. So Pearl Slattery is going forward, leaving Niamh Walsh behind, by the way, back to mind the house, the taller of the two central defenders. McCabe to deliver. Good one. Comes back out towards Rachel Graham. First touch wasn't good enough. Thorpe now. Spread towards Beryl, but couldn't quite get to it. It's a real battle in the middle of the field right now.
Yeah, it's a real battle all right in there.
Siobhan Killeen is fouled. Back out here as far as Noelle Murray. McCabe calling for it, almost demanding it. Lovely back heel. Well read.
Well read by Julianne. She was covering her full back there, doubling up on Katie McCabe.
Claire Conlon with just a couple of minutes to go before the half-time whistle will be heard. Ciara Grant able to gobble up that one and clear. I'm sure Eileen Gleeson and her squad will be much relieved to get back into this game before half-time.
Yes, it was definitely a great goal and a great time to score, so they're very much in this game now.
Conlon throwing. Well controlled. Dora Gorman. Beautiful ball across. Jetta Barrel. Savannah McCarthy. Straight to Thorpe. Nicely on here as far as Julianne Russell. Struck the bar the last time she attacked with some purpose. Ooh. And this time she just got her feet muddled up somewhat and got in a tangle.
Yeah, Julianne, you wouldn't expect her to do that, in fairness. She doesn't normally mess up her feet like that, but I was just watching Caroline there. Rachel Graham is keeping an eye on her, and she just drifted off her shoulder and was found very, very well by Savannah McCarthy.
Back once again by Dora Gorman. Caroline Thorpe now. Keeping it alive here with Ciara Grant, two former Raheny players. Up to the goal scorer, Anya Gorman. And two really good goals in this cup final. Killeen back there working. One additional minute to be played. And that's overhit there completely by Savannah McCarthy. So overall impressions as we head into the last 30 seconds or so, Sue Ronan, what did you make of it?
Well, certainly Raheny were worth their lead when they took it, and they had a couple of other chances and they could have increased that lead, but UCD have gradually come back into it and scored obviously a great goal to equalise, and I think you've seen them grow in stature since they've done that. They've started to move the ball better. They're trying to get Caroline Thorpe on the ball more. They're moving the ball, they're spreading it out better, and they're a danger. This game is not over by any chance.
Sue, the Irish international women's manager, keeping a watching brief on many of the players who may well be featuring in the next Ireland squad as the referee blows for half-time here. The first half, which was illuminated by a wonderful goal by Katie McCabe after 19 minutes from a free kick. But then 5 minutes before the break, Anya Gorman smacked in an equaliser after some very good work by Julianne Russell. And in the Women's Cup final here at the Aviva Stadium, it's all square as they go to the dressing rooms. It's UCD Waves 1, Raheny 1. We'll have the views of our panel very shortly, right after this.
You've done it all. You've broken every code and poured the rebel to the floor.
At Mace, we know there are all kinds of reasons to smile.
Come up and see me, make me smile.
But one is more important than all the rest.
Because we're glad to see you.
Mace, going the extra smile.
Emma. Emma?
Not anymore.
Emma?
Every day it's begging you, please.
Emma?
Leave me alone.
Paper has a big future. Adorably soft Kitten Soft now has a new family.
Let's stop.
Join Maria, her two best friends, and a pig named Chewy on a magical adventure beyond your imagination, the Book of Life.
Sometimes you just have to believe you can make it. It was the same when I quit smoking. Nicorette Quick Mist took the edge off the cravings so I could finally quit. And now I've done that, I feel I can do anything.
Nicorette Quick Mist is an instant spray for fast craving relief. Nicorette, do something incredible.
Constipation? Take Dulcolax tablets at night, and by morning you could be back to your regular self again. Dulcolax. Predictable overnight relief.
Get your sub made your way with the new chicken and chorizo sub at Subway. Olé!
Introducing the Drive Safer Reward from Liberty Insurance.
If you've 5 or more years no claims bonus on your fully comprehensive car insurance and you're penalty point free, you could get an online quote of only €266. So call 1890 89 1890 or visit libertyinsurance.ie. Liberty Insurance. Insurance the way it should be.
You gonna be alright with that? I mean, it's pretty steep down there. Maybe you need some help?
Okay. Would you mind pressing that button?
The Maka with hill descent control. German engineering at its best.
It's a German.
Test drive Germany's 4x4 of the year.
And you're very welcome back to the Aviva at half-time in the Women's Cup final. It's UCD Waves 1, Raheny United 1. Emma, Katie McCabe's goal, a wonderful strike, but I'm going to ask you this question from a goalkeeper's point of view. Could McGurk have got a bit closer to this?
I believe so, just for the sheer fact it was over 35 yards out. You have so much time to see it come in. It wasn't an absolute rocket. It was a great strike. I don't want to take anything away from her, but as a goalkeeper, you always look at yourself and ask what you could have done better. And she got there, she moved her feet quick enough, but she just didn't seem to get off the ground. And she was correct in using her top hand. The technique's fine. Just agility, just needed to get off the ground.
Yeah, prior to that, UCD Waves had started quite well, but that kind of took the wind out of their sails, and Raheny United began to dominate after that for a while, didn't they?
Yeah, I definitely think UCD dominate possession in the first 15-20 minutes. But then they started to drop off a little bit, and Anya Gorman up top started defending behind in her own half, which means there was nobody up front. Yeah. There was no out, and that gave Raheny great confidence, and they kept pushing on, and it looked like they were going to score.
Yeah, it certainly did. But then Anya O'Gorman, Richie, was up top when it mattered. But first of all, you got to give great credit to Julianne Russell, who's had a good first half for creating this goal.
It was a really good finish. We'll talk about that in a moment. But this play from Russell is brilliant. Really good skill. Makes a fool of the defender. Really good shot. Hits the crossbar. And O'Gorman's in a really good position. But just watch this. It's slowed down here. Just through the legs. Knows exactly what she's doing. Pace to get away from the Conlon. And then the strike is brilliant. And this finish by O'Gorman, that's a very, very difficult technique. It's not her best foot, her left foot. You can see there just how difficult it was and what a brilliant execution it was. The keeper had no chance. She was coming back the other way. Really good goal and fully deserved at that time in the game.
Yeah, Tony, they've done well to get back into it because Raheny's experience was beginning to show during that first half, and they had some nice passing movements, whereas everything UCD were doing for a while, it was very congested and they were losing possession then in the final third.
Yeah, I didn't think they had any width, so for the first 10 or 15 minutes they did have a lot of possession but no width, and in the final third they were quite poor. I thought they didn't get the ball into any danger areas. I thought Rachel Graham for Raheny got her foot on the ball and really was dominant for kind of the second period of that first half. And then towards the end they did start to get a bit of width again. I think McCarthy at the back favours a long ball with her left peg out to Julianne Russell on the wing, and they were getting a little bit of joy from that. But I think they do look more dangerous when they get into the final areas in the last 10 minutes there, but they've got to get more people into the box. I think Raheny still looked like they could control the game for longer periods. It's an interesting game, kind of it ebbed and flowed a little bit in the first half, so it was an interesting game. It'd be interesting to see how it lines up in the second half.
Yeah, Emma, you slightly favoured UCD Waves prior to kick-off. I mean, you still have the opinion that they can go on and win it?
Yeah, I think so. The only problem is if they start dropping off, Anya Gorman drops off and Julianne goes in midfield, and as we've just been talking about, they need more width because that's where their players are, their best players are, and that's where they got the goal from. So I'm still going to stick with UCD.
Okay, well, it's nicely balanced at half-time. 2 superb goals, has it at 1-1 here at the Aviva Stadium. The second half will be coming up very shortly, so we'll see after the break.
It's not quite carling.
Carling. Refreshingly perfect.
You're a giant. A juggler.
Come on, we're going!
A lifeguard. You're a believer. A smoother. A supporter.
Ease up!
You're a saint. You're a healer.
It's not fair! I hate you!
You're a spoil sport.
You're in the middle of nowhere!
A collector.
Sorry.
A memory maker. Who was it said you can't be all things to all people? Toyota. The best built cars in the world.
Monday's dog was beaten and abused. Tuesday's dog had nothing to lose. Wednesday's dog was cold and unfed. Thursday's dog was left for dead. Friday's dog struggled to cope. Dogs Trust is here to give all of them hope. Every day, Dogs Trust rescues over 13 stray and abandoned dogs. We're saving the lives of as many dogs as we can. And with your help, we'll save even more. Please text TRUST to 50300 now and make a €4 donation. Because tomorrow's dog needs your help today.
Okay, guys, bring that baby back.
Put the beers on ice, Houston. We're on our way.
Tell our kids, Daddy's coming home.
Arm number 5.
Course 90. Coordinates locked. Planet Earth, good to see you, buddy. Houston, we're back.
Shannon Airport regrets delays due to an unscheduled arrival. 2 for 1 from €89.
Meet Private.
Hello.
The decoy.
You're up, Private. You just mermaid my day.
DreamWorks Penguins of Madagascar.
Okay, you win. I'm not going to mention AIG Insurance again today. Not a sausage about no admin fees or saving 10% on AIG.ie.
Seriously, you need help.
What?
Switch to AIG for great value car insurance with no admin fees. Visit AIG.ie or call 1890 20 27 27.
Say yes to chocolate. Special K Biscuit Moments. At 98 calories, say yes to biscuits. Special K Biscuit Moments. There's so much to gain.
The 2014 FAI Ford Cup final kicks off at 3:30 here at the Aviva. 5-time winners Derry City face St Patrick's Athletic, who are bidding to win the trophy for only the 3rd time in their history and for the first time in 53 years. That's coming up at 3:30, but the destination of the FAI Continental Tires Cup has still to be decided. Half-time, it's UCD Waves 1, Raheny United 1. Richie, there were a couple of attempts on goal that Monica McGurk did do well for in that first half. We're going to take a quick look at those, so the scoreline might be different.
She did, yeah. She was certainly the busier of the two keepers in the first half. It's a decent ball in from Colleen, and Dwyer gets the header. Comfortable save. You'd be very critical if she let that in past her.
And this was Siobhan Colleen, the ball breaking to her on the edge of the area, and after having just conceded a goal from 35 yards. This looked like it was heading into the same top corner spot, so she gets her feet sorted a little quicker in this one. Ball's not travelling with as much pace. Good vision, nice chip, good execution, and it was a smart save.
Emma, from the manager's point of view, do you think there's anything they'll be looking seriously at half-time to make changes for this second 45 minutes?
I don't think either of them will make a change because they might be a bit worried about disrupting the team, but they definitely will be telling the players they need to keep wide. Julianne Russell needs to stay wide. If Anya's going to drop in to collect the ball, maybe Caroline Thorpe needs to make that run up top and keep them high and wide and create space.
Okay, well, as you can see, the players making their way back out now onto the Aviva pitch, and we're now going to rejoin our commentary team for the second half. So it's back to Sue Ronan and first Ger Canning.
Thank you, Peter. And mention of the pitch, it really is a superb looking Aviva pitch. It really is in top class condition here. 1-1 at the break. UCD Waves, by the way, have yet to beat Raheny in competitive action, as DLR Waves up to this year. And including their league match in September, Raheny have won 6 out of 6 games played so far. Referees come back out with her 2 officials. Referee is Michelle O'Neill from Wexford, and it will be Raheny United in the black and white strip who will get the second half underway. So 45 minutes then to resolve this, although having said that, Sue, of course, it went to additional time last year.
It did, Ger, and you wouldn't bet against that again this year, but it was a great time for UCD to score 5 minutes before half time. They've got themselves right back in the game, and while both teams have individual flair, I think if UCD spread the ball well, keep wide, keep high, they can cause trouble for a composed looking Raheny.
So Raheny then to get their feet on the ball then and try and get the second half underway with an attack of their own. Good challenge presented immediately by Jetta Beryl, who comes from Drogheda, played in the World Student Games in Russia last year, playing in the cup final here at the Aviva on this November afternoon, a beautiful November afternoon in Dublin. And that's a little tug back there by Savannah McCarthy, putting her team in some peril, holding back Noelle Murray.
Yes, I'd imagine Eileen was saying to her team not to give away too many set pieces around the edge of the box or corners. I know this is a little bit further out, but I think Katie McCabe has a very good delivery, and likewise Siobhan Colleen, so it's always a dangerous situation.
And this time, Sue, they brought Niamh Walsh, big tall player from central defence, up there to lend her considerable height to this latest attack. So from the free kick, what can Katie McCabe do? Deliver a beauty, that's what. Right in there. Pressure on UCD's defenders. They're there in numbers, need to be. Murray, however, turned and lost it. Chance of a quick breakaway here. Anya Gorman unable to hold it. Knocked out in the end by Jetta Beryl, and then the referee's whistle sounded for that free kick foul on Dora Gorman.
Yeah, it was another good delivery by Katie McCabe and caused a bit of confusion in the penalty area until it was eventually cleared.
It's a poor ball by Ciara Grant. Once again, Katie McCabe. Conlon. McCabe once more, looks up. Decides just to switch the direction of the play with Rachel Graham.
Rachel is always available in that central midfield position, looking for the ball back, supporting her wide players and looking to switch play.
Not the most convincing of knocks forward there on the part of Kiva Keenan.
I actually thought it came off a UCD
Might well have touched, yeah. So Rebecca Carroll gets it back again. Caroline Thorpe. One-headed clear by Pearl Slattery. Now Thorpe once again now. That was Siobhan Colleen nicking that one away. Noelle Murray has Colleen to one side, doesn't use her, doesn't need to. Murray's shot, a lot of power, plenty of direction, but just a little too much elevation.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what Kerry Ryan was doing there. She seemed to run away from Noelle instead of engaging her, and was more worried about the wide player. when Noelle was in possession, and she's good enough to get a shot away there, but off target.
Plenty of power in that. Julianne Russell just losing out this time to Claire Conlon. Just closing the door there, Karen Duggan. Julianne Russell. Booted forward here. Goal scorer Anya Gorman. Boot came in there from Karen from Niamh Walsh.
Yeah. I think she knew what she was doing there because Julianne was away.
Just a little tangle of legs there.
It was Anya, actually, Anya Gorman.
Free kick for UCD. Anya Gorman waiting inside him against the taller Niamh Walsh. Well-headed clear. Dwyer comes back here to Dora Gorman once again. Rebecca Carroll trying to play to feet. In the end, in nipped Kiva Keenan. Closed the door on that particular attack. Carroll once again down into the corner. Feels for handball. It is going to be UCD ball, so a chance to keep that pressure on Raheny. Having got themselves back into the match in a scoring sense 5 minutes before half time.
Yes, they'd be looking to keep the pressure on now. They would have went in with the more confident team for having scored late on in the half.
Thorpe beaten in the air. Booted well clear. Chance once again for Ciara Grant. Julianne Russell, that was a good solid tackle there by Claire Conlon.
It was, she read the ball well there.
Very sporty cornerback. Claire Conlon also plays GAA with Laois. And the referee saw
little nudge in the back there on Anya Gorman by Niamh Walsh, giving away a free kick in a dangerous area.
Raheny will have to be at their most vigilant now. It's going to be Julianne Russell who will take it, the 23-year-old.
Yeah, Savannah McCarthy's very dangerous in the air here, number 14. Brave header of a ball.
So possibilities here. Caroline Thorpe just starting off at an offside position, just to try and outfox the Raheny defence. Planted in beautifully. Wasn't a bad effort at all.
She seemed to have a free header there. I'm not sure the defender
Rebecca
got
Carroll.
Yeah, the defender seemed to get on the wrong side of her.
Just watch it again here. The timing of the run by Rebecca Carroll was perfect. Landed on her head. Unable to steer it down, however. That time it's returned by Dora Gorman. Carroll again. I think Gleeson calling out the calls.
It's a great long throw by Kiva Keenan.
Savannah McCarthy losing her footing for a moment. Tricky play right on the end line there by Noelle Murray.
Yeah, I think she was looking for a corner there. She didn't get one, but good play by Noelle.
Well, the crowd will be expecting both teams now just to lift the tempo once again after the half-time break.
Yeah, it's gone a little flat now again. I think the teams need to start move the ball faster.
It's a good long throw, but only as far as McCarthy. Thorpe is waiting for it, didn't get to it. McCabe got there first. Katie McCabe up against 3 opponents from UCD. Swept out by Rebecca Carroll.
Seems to be a little bit of panic in defence, the UCD defence, when Katie gets on the ball. 3 players around her there, and really could have been cleared a bit better by Rebecca.
Swept across field by Rachel Graham. Conlon. Dwyer involved. Now here's an opportunity to break quickly here on this near wing by Jetta Beryl. Stopped in her tracks, however.
It was read very well by Kiva Keenan, but that's really where UCD needs to be exploiting better.
Once again to the feet of Beryl. Should be Conlon's. Tidied up by Nia Walsh. Colleen just trying to keep it in play. She hasn't quite succeeded, however. Looking for a little bit more delivery now to come out her wing during the second half. Siobhan Colleen. And Soccer Republic tomorrow. Review of the season, that's at 11:05 on RTE2. And a lot to look back on, and a great season in domestic football. And of course the high point of the domestic season, the cup final for the men, coming up at 3:30. St. Pat's against Derry City. Oh, that's a bad ball there by Rebecca Carroll. Torp.
Poor pass by Rebecca. Savannah got her out of trouble, and that's a great ball to Julianne Russell.
Super ball as far as Russell. Just bounced unkindly for her initially. Now taking on Claire Conlon. Strong play. O'Gorman, goal scorer earlier on. Kerry Ryan once more. Started the game very prominently, and the flag goes up because Julianne Russell was coming back from an offside position.
Yeah, I think she was just about offside there.
Substitute coming on for UCD will be Orla Nolan. Played in the semi-final.
For UCD Waves, number 9, Kerry Ryan, being replaced by number 15, Orla.
So, Kerry Ryan, public address announcer, announces to everybody in here, and I'd say to most of Dublin as well. So 10 minutes into the second half, and a change made.
I thought Kerry Ryan looked like she was struggling all right. She's just coming back from an ACL injury. Has only played, I think, one other game before this. So
Orla Nolan, a totally different type of player now, and maybe we'll give them that little bit extra up front.
Yeah, she's a lovely player. She'll come into the hole there. Caroline Thorpe will drop into midfield beside Dora Gorman, and Orla will just play it in front between midfield and Anya Gorman up top, and she'll get on the ball and she'll make things happen. She's a good little player.
Well, she's got strength as well, Orla Nolan. She is number 15 from Ballantyre, her 4th season in the Women's National League. Was 20 years of age. Claire Conlon ready to throw this one for Raheny United, cup holders, cup winners in 2012 and 2013. But level pegging at this stage, not getting it their own way. McCarthy taking it back. Karen Duggan was an option, goes long instead. And that was Jetta Beryl just getting in a tangle there with Kiva Keenan.
Yeah, she did well there to get that free kick. I think there was too much in it.
Kiva, who's a very highly regarded young player. Just 17 years of age, big occasion for her to play in this Women's Cup final, taking this free kick herself. Julianne Russell dealing with it, and then the boot was high against her, so gets a free kick for UCD Waves.
Yeah, Kiva Keenan's a very, very good young player. As I said, she came from Shelburne, plays on her under-19s, even at 17 years of age, so has that experience of playing in the finals behind her. Great talent with a good future ahead of her.
It'll be Karen Duggan who will hit this free kick towards Julianne Russell, player who was fouled a moment ago. Ciara Grant trying to make something of it, down towards Anya Gorman. Got it in behind the first defender. Well, there's always a support player, and Nia Walsh makes a quick, rapid recovery there.
Yes, I think what we didn't see when Kerry Ryan was on the pitch there, when Anya came in looking for the ball, Orla Nolan got beyond her, and none of the midfielders were doing that when Kerry was on the pitch.
It's going to be UCD possession once again now. So options available for Ciara Grant. Anya Gorman trying to outfox the central defender and win a corner kick, and she's done exactly what she probably set out to do if she couldn't get the ball over first time. So an opportunity now to add a little bit more pressure on the Raheny defence.
Yes, we have Savannah and Rebecca coming up from the defence now for this corner. Both dangerous in the air. Savannah particularly brave header of the ball.
Good delivery into the penalty area. Breaks back out again, however. And that was Dora Gorman having it stolen from her. Caroline Thorpe reading it, and final touch went off Noel Murray. Referee just had a quiet little word. Dora Gorman. Picked up again here by Duggan. Nice ball across by Julianne Russell. Now a chance to take on the defence once again here. Anya O'Gorman towards Caroline Thorpe. Well read by Ciara Keenan. Keenan wasn't going to be easily dispossessed there, in spite of the presence of the experienced Caroline Thorpe.
Yeah, Caroline tried to sell her a dummy there, and Kiva wasn't sold at all.
Anya O'Gorman. Russell once again to plant it in the penalty area. Well dealt with by Rebecca Cray. Well, after all of that comes to naught.
UCD put a little bit of pressure on now, playing in the opponent's final third. But you can never count against Raheny on the break. They're still a dangerous team.
Referee's whistle indicates another free kick. This one is to UCD. McCarthy the taker, and Karen Duggan now to try and do a little bit more with it, try and set up a